Well, deeply shocked and embarrassed, that is the word from Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari. He's been reacting to the UK's Prime Minister David Cameron's comments that his country is, quote, fantastically corrupt. President Buhari suggested Cameron was referring to the previous Nigerian administration. Cameron was caught on camera speaking to Queen Elizabeth II, and it wasn't just Nigeria. He also spoke about corruption in Afghanistan. Leaders from those countries have been gathering in London for an anti-corruption summit.
We've had a very successful cabinet meeting this morning. We talk about our anti-corruption summit. We've got the Nigerians. We've got some leaders of some fantastically corrupt countries coming to Britain. Nigeria and Afghanistan, possibly the two most corrupt countries.
But this particular president is actually not corrupt. No, he's trying very hard.
They are coming at their own expense.
I mean, yes. It's going to be like, because it's an anti-corruption summit, everything has to be open. So there are no sort of closed-door sessions. It's all in front of the press. It could be quite interesting.
Well, let's get you more on that story now. I'm joined live from Lagos in Nigeria by CCTV's Deji Badmus. Now, Deji, President Buhari says he is shocked and embarrassed over Prime Minister Cameron's comments. What are ordinary Nigerians saying about this?
Well, Mahia, it's the single biggest topic in the media today, radio, television. And one thing I must tell you, Mahia, is that the social media is going through some kind of meltdown in the country because it's the single biggest trending topic, on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and what have you. Now, some people have been condemning, the comments of the British Prime Minister, and some people have actually said, well, what he said, it's actually not. Not incorrect, that he basically said what is the fact. But, of course, a majority number of people saying, well, even if Nigeria is corrupt, he should not have said that since he had called, a meeting now. I mean, a summit to discuss the problem of corruption in not just in Nigeria, Afghanistan, and some other countries as well. So, no question at all. Most Nigerians too feel embarrassed. The government says it is embarrassed, and some Nigerians have even gone to the extent of asking the president not to go for the summit. Of course, we do not expect that to happen because the president has already left the country. As a matter of fact, we understand the summit should be starting anytime soon. So the reaction has been huge, to be candid, Mahia, and as the day goes on, I mean, we're going to get more reactions, and maybe we're still going to get further comments now from the government later in the day.
Well, indeed, Deji, the country, Nigeria, obviously has had so many corruption scandals in the past. Just talk us through some of the biggest scandals Nigeria has undergone.
Now, the biggest scandal we have at the moment is what we call the arms scandal. Some people call it the Dasuki Gate. It involves the National Security Advisor to former President Goodluck Jonathan. How much involved in that case? Before, what we were told before was somewhere around $2.2 billion. I mean, that's quite staggering. But what we're getting in recent time, coming from the government now, the Vice President, as a matter of fact, was addressing a group of people recently, just a few days ago, and he said what Nigeria actually lost as a result of what was actually stolen as a result of the arms scandal is in the region of $15 billion. Now, that will be half of Nigeria's total budget for this year. Now, that case is still in court. The former National Security Advisor has consistently maintained that he got the approval of former President Goodluck Jonathan to disburse the money that he did, and the bulk of that money, of course, was used for presidential campaign, and other parts of the money used, of course, to settle cronies. We also have another high-profile case involving the president of the Senate of this country, and that's quite high. Now, he's accused of falsely declaring his asset. That's false declaration of asset. Of course, he's denied that. That case is still in court as well. And, there are quite a number of cases, very high-profile cases. There's also the case of the former Chief of Defense Staff, that's Bade. He just retired not quite long ago. Now, in his own case, he was accused of using the money meant for the purchase of arms and the payment of salaries in the Air Force now for his own personal gains. As a matter of fact, he's accused of using the money to buy properties and, you know, just to benefit himself. So quite a number of high-profile cases. And the fact is that the EFCC, I'm talking about the anti-graft body in this country, that's the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission now, is as busy as ever. As a matter of fact, it's never been this busy because every day it keeps digging up cases. In fact, very soon, I think today, the former Chief of Air Staff will be arraigned in court. So it's quite a serious issue in this country. There's no question at all that corruption is a big problem. But the problem with what Mr. Cameron said, what some people find you know, wrong with what he said is that for someone who had called a summit, he shouldn't have said that. So people are just waiting to see how that summit will go, and we just wait and see if the leaders of both countries he mentioned, now I'm talking about Nigeria and Afghanistan, if they would sit easy in that summit. We just wait and see, Mahia.
All right, Deji Badmus, thank you very much for speaking to us. That was Deji Badmus joining us live from Lagos in Nigeria, talking about the comments from, of course, the UK Prime Minister David Cameron, calling both Nigeria and Afghanistan fantastically corrupt.